Hey guys, welcome back to Gallivanting Kendall. I'm Kendall Clement. Shoot me an email at gallivanting.kendall23@gmail.com. That address is in the show notes. Welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate your support of my channel. It is the little engine that keeps on chugging. Today, I want to talk to you about the thing that shocked me the most when I moved here to the Philippines. Hit like and subscribe, and let's ride. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk to you about the thing that shocked me the most when I moved here to the Philippines. First of all, when I arrived, I was jet lagged, incredibly jet lagged, and I had to move from one Airbnb to another because I hadn't secured a place to live before I got here. And there's a reason for that, because I didn't know who I could trust. And I recommend that to anybody. If you don't know somebody here, if you don't have a contact here to make connections, like you don't have a girlfriend or a buddy or somebody who can plug you into a gated community or somebody they know that has a great place to live, don't do it. Don't send money here. Don't rent a place sight unseen unless you know somebody who has seen the place. So when I got here, I was jet lagged, man. I mean, for like weeks. It took weeks. And one of the reasons it took so long is because my dog Allie and I were moving from one Airbnb to another. And not only did I have to take care of me, but I had to look after her as well. So, that was a trying time. It was not easy. But that's not what shocked me the most. What shocked me the most, believe it or not, were the food choices. That's what shocked me the most. I mean, when you're tired, you don't want to think about food that much. You just want to get what's familiar to you and move on with your day or your life in general. I walked into the supermarket and I did not recognize anything. I mean, there was so little that was recognizable to me. When I went to the cold storage or cold drink area, cold food area, I was looking for milk. Milk's not refrigerated in the Philippines. It comes in boxes. So that was something to get used to, and I didn't know if I could trust it or not. Turns out you can, all right? And I drink like soy milk and oat milk. Not really a fan of cow milk, but it does come in boxes. All milk comes in boxes here. Now, the other thing that shocked me was, and also, oh, by the way, when I first got here, I spent 2 weeks in Manila because I had to get a travel permit for my dog to take her from Luzon and bring her to Cebu. Anytime you take an animal or a pet from one island to another, you need to get a health permit from a local veterinarian. And that took me about 2 weeks. Now, so I did a lot of eating out. I did a lot of McDonald's, man. A lot of fast food, a lot of McDonald's, a lot of Popeye's chicken in Manila, a lot of KFC, Wendy's, whatever, man, whatever I was familiar with. Um, and that was just the way it was. And then when I got to Cebu, I was I stayed in about three Airbnbs until I found the one that I wanted to rent long term. And it was more of the same because I was just so tired all the time, all the time. And I'd go to the grocery store, and the market's just as big as a Ralph's is in LA, or the Kroger, in Ohio or Atlanta. They're just as big, but I don't recognize a lot of the brands. I didn't recognize the brands. I had to figure out what was the best toilet paper. I had to figure out what was the best brand of paper towels, because they're not all made the same. And, when I went to the produce section, I try to be conscious of my diet. When I went to the produce section, I found that, a lot of the lettuce is not the same kind of lettuce that we eat in salads in America. Like the Goldberg lettuce is not, Goldberg, iceberg. The iceberg lettuce is not the same size as it is in America. In America, you can get a head of iceberg lettuce that is a little bit smaller than a soccer ball. But here, that may be an exaggeration. It's not quite that big, but you know what I'm talking about. But here, literally, uh, iceberg lettuce is the size of a softball, and that is not an exaggeration. Romaine lettuce, the romaine lettuce that you get in most supermarkets, it's a bit wilted. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the humidity. It's also not nearly as large. The romaine stalks are not nearly as large as they are in America. So what I discovered was once I got my S&R membership, I found that you can get healthy stalks of romaine lettuce, and it's not wilted, and it's not quite as big as the romaine lettuce stalks that we get in America, but it'll do. And remember, I think I mentioned in one of my videos that, you have to adjust. You have to adjust. Things are not the same here as they are in America. Broccoli stalks, if you're a broccoli eater, I like broccoli. I'm not one of these people that hates broccoli, but the stalks, the crowns are not quite as large as they are in America. Now, this may have something to do with, they don't use the fertilizers that we use in America. Uh, the stuff here is grown, I think it's organic or close to organic. So it's not going to be quite as large. But even the organic foods in America, the organic produce seems to be the same size or larger than the non organic. But the thing is, in America, I think the laws governing organic produce are a little bit loose. Like it's not, it's not 100% organic in a lot of cases, unless you go to a farmer's market. Now, that took a lot of getting used to. And also, when I would go to the produce section, I only recognized, out of a whole giant produce section, I recognized maybe 6 items: apples, lemons, if they had them, oranges, bananas, pineapple, watermelon. That's 6. I did recognize some of the lettuce, but that's about it, guys. That's about it. And that was probably the biggest culture shock that I had, was hunting for my food when I got here and trying to balance out my diet and stay healthy. I had to slowly back away from the fast food because I had to figure it out, man. I had to figure out where to go to get the things that I liked. I had to experiment, and I found out that the Hellmann's mayonnaise in the supermarket, unless it's the seriously good mayonnaise that they make, doesn't taste the same as it does in America. A lot of things here in the Philippines have a sweet taste to them. And I looked at the label, and it doesn't say sugar, but there's something that makes it taste sweet, and it doesn't taste the same. And I had to find mayonnaise that I liked at S&R, and it took me a few weeks to get that first S&R membership. I didn't have anybody guiding me, just the vlogs that I'd seen, and I had someone helping me, a Filipino friend, Filipina friend, just a friend, and she would drive me around and help me get settled and everything. And I asked her where S&R was, and she knew where it was, and she took me there. I got my membership, and that's where I found most of the foods that I was familiar with. And over time, I would experiment with buying things out of the regular supermarket that was closest to me, and I started familiarizing myself with the toilet papers that work best, the paper towels that work best for me, and the food items that I liked. And a lot of them were very new food items to me. Um, I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head, but I did find that the Hellmann's Seriously Good mayonnaise was different, and I liked it a lot better than the regular Hellmann's mayonnaise that I found in the supermarket. So food was probably the biggest culture shock for me when I got here to the Philippines. If you feel you got value out of this video, hit like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. Welcome to all my subscribers, old and new. And as always, take care of each other and give somebody a great day.
Oh, wow.